talk about it when we get
Okay.
there. But like somebody tried to hijack a ship and it took off with him in the cargo hold.
Yeah.
And there was no way to get out.
Yep.
So
Fun
yeah, it's
times.
kind of interesting. I saw the video of it. It's hilarious, actually.
So like no, legit, he was a stowaway.
Technically,
we'll talk about it.
Legit a
Technically,
stowaway.
so-
Yeah, we'll talk
technically,
about
yes.
that. Okay.
So
what?
with that, ladies and gentlemen, as we were kind of talking Starfield, welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Ziorio, your host, as always. I'm joined by the Beanied one, Gerard Barra.
What's up? Hey, what's up, nerds? No, I'm just kidding. What's up, guys? How's it going? Thank you all for joining. Got some interesting topics this week, and
Couple.
what's up, J Bone?
What's up?
What's up?
What's
And
up?
then,
Go
of
ahead.
course, that is our maitre d' services, the man with the couch, the man, the myth, the legend, the Lions, May Jason Valerio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going? Oh man, I was having actually a big conversation earlier with a GameStop employee about Starfield, so it's gonna be funny.
Yeah?
when we
Oh,
get
no
there.
way.
We'll talk about it.
'cause-
So
'cause, I had to donate, well, not donate, but trade in some of my games to pre-order Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Get that little.
nice.
Oh, and
Yeah.
by the way, IGN showed some footage of the statue itself, this limited edition. I don't think I'm going to get it.
Nah.
Ooh,
As
Ooh,
much as
why is that?
like it looks amazing, but dude, have you seen
But-
it? Have you seen the footage? Dude, the Spider-Man, really, the web that's holding it up is just a web. I'm guessing it's like thick enough to hold it, but the moment you hit a corner or something, dude, it's gonna break. It looks-
It's a little bit like weaker than fishing line.
structurally not great.
No, just the way it's structured, because like it clearly handles the weight of the Spider-Man, but it's just the web part that's holding him up. And like, dude, take a look at it. Even just one look at it, I would like, no, one bump or one barely little fall, it's done.
Going down.
Yeah. So I would check it out. It just looks, there's way too much of a chance for that to break.
Yeah.
As cool as it looks, though, it really does look cool.
And could you imagine like if it breaks somewhere in that webbing?
I'd be so
Like-
pissed. But that's the thing, though. That's why I say check it out, because he really looks like when you place it, you like leave it. You don't want to touch. Yeah, it just looks like too much of a chance.
Yep.
To take with that. So, but it looks awesome though. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that made it easy. I'm not going to get it. Deluxe version.
And it's gonna say your wallet likes that for you.
Very
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
You know. So let's get into some of the news, shall we? So we can actually yak and talk about some things and stuff. So first and foremost, Jerry and you and I were talking about this earlier, is talking with the strike, writer strike and the actor strike. A member of the Actors Guild is getting a lot of heat right now because she has decided to start her show back up without writers. That's one Drew Barrymore.
Ooh.
And I get part of the reason why she wants to do it, because she wants to get her production team back to work. So, the grips, the camera, everybody else that's not a writer on the show, she wants to get back to work.
Yeah.
And I absolutely understand that, right? Because in this strike, right, not only are they trying to get better wages, but you are impacting other people's lives completely, right?
A much larger group of people's lives. That the whole reason for this strike is why it's so important. But I wouldn't quite like jump to judgment. Like, let's see where it goes, because there are TV and movie productions that are going on right now that do have the permission of SAG and that are abiding by the rules of that. Correct. Hopefully she does.
She is
or
not.
has some sort of agreement.
Nope.
As of right now. Oh, is that for sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's the writers are actively striking outside of her studio location in New York.
Oh, wow.
And these people
that's surprising.
And there were some people that showed up to watch it, didn't realize that by them kind of going and attending the show that they were essentially crossing the line, so to speak, you know. And the writers informed them, hey, this is what's going on. They said, okay, cool. How can we support you? They were given some writer strike pins to wear. And Drew Barrymore's staff kicked them out. Said you're not allowed
Their
to
security
be here
staff, yeah.
for wearing,
Ooh.
So
yeah.
those people then turned around and went outside, donned a couple of strike shirts, and joined the picket line.
Of course.
And of course, Drew Barrymore saying she had no idea that was going on, but well, that type of thing only
you still have a show. You still have a show going on. Like,
I mean,
still, you're.
So,
I mean,
her excuse of, I didn't know it's still going on after how long have we been in the strike? 120 plus days.
No, it was the situation of the two people getting escorted out.
Yeah,
that she was talking about. But also that's the other thing. She doesn't know what's going on in her own studio. Like, that's her show. Yeah. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Come on. Like,
it's just it's disappointing. It sucks because you thought
Stand United. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Like, I get it. She wants to get people back into and
it's good intentions. She wants her crew to go back to work and to continue working. I get that.
Yeah.
And that's a tough spot to be in. Like, let's be honest
go
too.
To the correct channels. You got to do it the correct
way,
because otherwise you're going to create this divide again, and then then that shows weakness for the people that are in the that are doing the strike. Mm-hmm. Then they're like, oh, well, see, like, this person's doing it independently. Like, why can't you do that? And then
correct. Whereas if you look at like
the ball rolling, and then it's like, you know what, all the things that they're trying to fight for, they're just gonna be like, nah. See what happened with Drew Barrymore. Yeah, that's going to be the highlight for every single countermeasure that they're going to try and come up with.
Yeah, and one of the things to look at too, right, is I get the argument, right? But maybe she should take an example out of the page of what's being called the Strike Force 5, which is Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, and John Oliver, who what they did was they'd have weekly phone calls with each other, and they recorded them and they've turned them into a podcast. And what they're doing is the proceeds from that show that's on Spotify, all of it's going to their production teams.
Oh, cool.
So they're raising money to pay for staff. They're paying some of it.
Essentially, what you're saying is, she could think of other ways, or her team could think of other ways to raise money just for their, and
correct.
I like that too. That's a great idea. That's awesome of the host to do.
Instead
also
of
sidebar, sorry for Jimmy Fallon for what he's going through, but also you have to have a.
I didn't even
happy
see
work environment.
What I didn't even see that Jimmy Fallon was even going through anything.
For 14 employees came forward, and two currently work there. All said the same thing. It was just a toxic work environment. Fallon was moody, and most of the time the atmosphere on at work was tense, always tense, because you just didn't know what kind of mood he was in and all that. And so unfortunately he's getting some backlash for it, and he even apologized to all of them on Zoom and spoke to them. It's just unfortunately it's hitting hard. It's going through the cycles right now.
Yeah, it's the Lizzo thing right now. So I think she's doing kind of bad by deciding, hey, I just need to do this. Her guild is on strike too. They're striking against the same things, yet you're going to go start up your talk show, which is a scripted show, right? When it comes to your opener, your closer, even some of the general questions you prep for and ask for come from
those
writers.
All comes from that.
So she's going to wing it. Cool, go for it, if that's what she wants to do. But I think you need to show solidarity, because like we talked about earlier, and I don't remember, I'd have to go dig and find the studios that are doing it, but there's rumors that some of the studios within the AMP, TP, or whatever it's called, right? They're starting to break from the rest of the group, and they're talking about possibly negotiating one-on-one, where it would be that studio with the Writers Guild, with the Actors Guild, because they're looking at it, right, is it's costing them money, and in the grand scheme of things, all of 2% doesn't matter. Like, it is such a drop in the bucket that they should just be like, here, let's do it, you know? So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I for one didn't think it was going to get past Labor Day, at least from an actor's perspective, and here we are.
I did. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I called it.
I just look at it. You've got, you just look at it, what normally comes out fourth quarter, third and fourth quarter.
So this is the thing for Hollywood. Like the moment like Thanksgiving, like the week before December, Hollywood's closed. Like usually, like there's like one or a couple productions, but for the most part, like Hollywood is closed. Christmas they have, their automatic like specials and stuff like that going on. So really, a lot of productions don't really happen around December and January, which is why I said, like, if it goes to this amount, I think it was like August, it's gonna go like to January, because it's going to pass September and October, obviously.
Yep.
And the moment they get into the holidays, nothing's going to be done, so they're going to continue on and purge them for more money.
Like, I think the other part where I thought you'd probably see it done by now is because of how long it's going to take those production teams to get spun back up with stories.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh no, like that. That's where I don't think that people understand, like, where we're screwed as viewers. Like, that's why this needs to happen, because and everything needs to close as soon as possible, because it's going to take twice as long for that stuff to get aired, because it takes months to a year to finish those projects.
I don't want another Hero season 3.
Yeah, remember? And what we barely got out, like we accepted season 3, but only because that's what we had. That's what was coming out.
We had season 2 was cut short.
Yep.
By the strike. And then season 3, basically they slammed what they missed in season 2 into what was being made for season 3, and it was an utter crap show.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because it was all rushed. Like, all the storylines were super accelerated. Half of it didn't make sense. So
I think television is where it took the hit most.
And I think it's going
from
to
the strike.
Yeah.
Because they were rushing a lot. They were rushing a lot out when it finally ended.
Yep. So we'll see where that goes. Obviously, we are supporting the writers and the actors, because we, of course, have friends that are actors.
Yes.
Some of them, thankfully, are able to still work because they do animation. They do actually anime, and they do video games, not just live acting. So they're good there. Which is kind of funny. Speaking of that, we were watching How to Get Away with Murder the other night. It was the episode that Mallory was on, and I was like, oh look, it's Mallory.
Sweet.
So anyway, so let's talk gaming news. A big thing came out today. So Unity, which is a engine just like Unreal 5 and whatnot, announced that they are raising prices effective January 1st. And it is already putting some studios on the defensive. So an independent studio called Aggro Crab, which is coming out with Another Crab's Treasure next year on Game Pass. It's basically you're like a crab exploring the bottom of the ocean and stuff in a Souls type-esque game.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that's I might want to see that trailer.
So, and I do too now. I'm kind of interested.
That's funny.
But they put it out there. It's like, hey gamers, today, I'll share it to the list, the viewers that are going to be watching this. But it says, hey gamers, today Unity, the engine we use to make our games, announced that they'll soon be taking a fee from developers for every copy of the game installed over a certain threshold. regardless of how that copy was obtained. Guess who has a somewhat highly anticipated game coming out to Xbox Game Pass in 2024? That's right, it's us and a lot of other developers. So that means another Crab's Treasure will be free to install for the 25 million Game Pass subscribers. If a fraction of those users download our game, Unity could take a fee that puts an enormous dent in our income and threatens the sustainability of our business. And that's before we even think about sales on other platforms or pirated installs of our game, or even multiple installs by the same user. So what they're thinking is, you're installing it on multiple consoles, your iPhone, your iPad, whatever, right? This decision puts us and countless other studios in a position where we might not be able to justify using Unity for our future titles. If these changes aren't rolled back, we'll be heavily considering abandoning our wealth of Unity expertise we've accumulated over the years and starting from scratch in a new engine, which is really something we'd rather not do. On behalf of the dev community, we're calling on Unity to reverse the latest in a string of short-sighted decisions that seem to prioritize shareholders over their product's actual users. And they literally end it, I fucking hate it here. Now, we've all seen, we've talked about this, what corporate greed is doing right now. Especially here in the States and elsewhere in the world. They're prioritizing their shareholders over their business decisions, which is why everything keeps continually going up and we're not seeing breaks in inflation. And it's why the Fed, even though they're raising interest rates, which historically stops inflation, it's not stopping it. Because even to the point of the strike, right? You have studio execs that are now getting bonuses and raises right now when they're trying to negotiate the future of their studios, right? So it's all about corporate greed and stuff like that. Why
do I feel like they're going to do like a separate pricing for between devices? So like if you purchase the game, download it on your console, but then if you wanted to download it on your phone, you'd have to rebuy it. For a separate fee.
So if you buy it in the iPad ecosystem or the Apple ecosystem, right? iOS, and you go to install it on your iPad and your iPhone, so you can play it in multiple locations, they're going to get potentially a fee for each of those installs. Even though you paid for it once and you're installing it where you want to, it's still an install. And I'm going to cover that here. So I'm going to go over everything because you'll see where this is really jacked up what they're doing. Basically what they're considering, this is called a runtime fee. It's going to apply if it meets two certain areas. It has a minimum revenue threshold in the last 12 months and a minimum lifetime install count. Fees dependent on the type of Unity plan the developer is using. They have personal and plus, a pro and enterprise. So if you're looking at it being a we'll share this out. So here's the chart, right? So basically for the personal and Unity Plus programs, you have to have $200,000 in 12 months of revenue plus 200,000 lifetime installs for each game, not the entire portfolio. So each of the games has to have at least 200,000 installs. Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise are going to be 1 million in revenue plus 1 million in installs. You've got, and then the same thing for Enterprise. Now, where the fees are going to be, they're going to be charged monthly, and the amount per install is going to vary based on their license. But for the personal and Unity Plus, right, it's going to be 20 cents per install.
That's a lot.
Think about that. 20 cents. So if you're selling your game for $10, I mean, granted that comes out to, it's like 1%, 2%, whatever.
Wow.
Right. But that's going
that's the low side.
Yeah. So now if you have Unity Pro, it's going to start off at 15 cents per install. And as you have more installs, the fee is going to drop. So if you have 1 million installs, it drops to 2 cents per install. And then if you have an enterprise edition, it starts off at 12.5 cents per install, and eventually it'll drop to 1 penny. So depending on these small studios, right? These very small independent studios, which only have like sometimes 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
you're going to go with personal or plus.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be looking at 20 cents per install. And to their point, right, is you look at Game Pass, right? If I look at that game, am I going to go, okay, cool, let me install it. I'm going to play it. I'm not liking it too much. I'm going to delete it. Maybe 6 months down the road, decide, hey, let me give it another chance. It's been
that's
getting
that's a 20-cent fee on them.
That's 40 cents.
Oh, that's 40 cents. That's right.
It's every install.
Yeah, because
you
damn.
reinstalled it.
Now think about this, right? If I've got 2 PS5s in the house and I have one that's being quote unquote shared, right? And my profile is on there, I install that game in both locations. That's 40 cents.
That's 40 cents.
I mean,
and that's just, and again, this is just Matt. This is Matt alone.
Yeah.
Like we're not even talking like if I were to do it, if you were to do it, Jerry, this is just Matt alone. Like
if I were doing it, think about anybody else.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
So
I mean, I get it. I get what Unity is trying to do. They're trying to make their money. That's fine. Like they have to pay their people as well.
Okay, but up your licensing fees.
But yeah, who it's going to hurt the most is all the indie people that work on these games.
Yeah.
Like indie projects, they like pretty much wrap themselves around Unity because of how like easy and how user friendly it is for a lot of indie type games.
And to put that into context, right, is that Steven Sotillo over at Axios, right? He tried to, reach out to Unity, get some clarification and stuff. And he was just like, he said, if a player, and this I'm quoting him, right, is if a player deletes a game and reinstalls it, that's 2 installs, 2 charges. Same if they install on 2 devices. So it doesn't matter. It's just every time it's installed, you're getting
every time it's installed.
And then there was the co-founder of Keepsake Games, Philippe Koulianos. He said, so I can technically run my competitors into the ground by having a farm of machines installing and uninstalling their games in an endless cycle.
That is
basically
ridiculous.
It's basically, he said, it's giving review bombing a whole new meaning.
Not just the bombs, but at the same time too. You can bankrupt if you get
think about that, right?
Bots going.
So there's the indie game Sea of Stars that came out, right, which is a big hit on the Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. It's like an ode to the classic RPGs like Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. Think about if you were a competitor to them and you were kind of jealous of their success with this little game. It's a little small independent studio. You could sit there, if they were using Unity, and just sit there and uninstall, install, and just rack up the charges.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, like Unity has been a pillar.
It's so crazy to think, like you would think in indie company that would be the best news ever, having people like, dude, it's getting installed. Like people are
using it. And damn. It's amazing of what people have been able to do with Unity. I mean, like, for example, like some of the best games that have come out, I'm just looking at it like
case in point, right? So
I'm looking at it right now and you're like, dude, you have like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight was done by Unity, Subnautica, Death's Door, which is, it's fantastic. Fun to play.
Now think about that, right? Well, hold that thought. Death's Door is free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Think about that. Everybody with PlayStation Plus downloading that game and trying it out, right?
And then the publisher is getting fined for it. Like
that sucks, man.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Like, there's some good ones too, like Ori.
Ori.
That's done by Unity. That's already done with the Unity engine.
So
what about Shovel Knight?
So
I don't think Shovel Knight was.
Here's 42 games. So here's some things. Cuphead.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Cuphead.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
Well, big one. Big ones.
Return of Obra Dinn.
Don't know that one.
That one came out. It's another one that came out 18. Yeah, a couple of years ago, but it was like old style, kind of retro style looking game. Wasteland 2, when that came out in 2014. You've got Mobius Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
You know,
a lot of
I am
phone
Setsuna.
games. A lot of phone games use Unity as well.
You know, these are just some of the names that Risk of Rain 2.
Yeah, and these are all big games too. These are all huge.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Which is a massively successful MMORPG. Untitled Goose Game.
Yep.
Beat Saber.
Hearthstone.
Okay. Oh wow!
Hearthstone.
Oh, big one, big VR. Actually, like the VR game.
Cities Skylines.
Yeah, there's a ton, and that's why I get it for
Tunic.
like these giant ones, these giant names. Sure, Unity, go ahead and like get that money from them, but the independents, like, dude, imagine if you have like an independent company and they do just under what that 100,000, 20 cents per. That's what, like.
So Jason, I ran the math, right?
2,
if you were to do
20,
if you were to do 20 cents times a million, right, it would wipe out that $200,000 revenue threshold.
Yeah,
that they did. That's what this is going to do.
So you have to be able to get that 1 million.
And think about this, right? And I think what's worse about this is you look at the emerging markets, right? Which are those markets where you're starting to have game development starting to take place, right? It's straight up 2 cents per install. So for me, this is going to hurt indies, and I absolutely agree with Aggro on this one. Yeah. So, it'll be interesting to see what transpires out of this, because they are getting a lot of backlash, a lot. And I think what's going to end up happening is I think they're going to have a lot of studios leaving, like the smaller ones. They'll, honestly, I can see the guys that, run Fortnite with Unreal Engine. Like, I could see them going, here's Unreal.
Yeah.
we'll do it super cheap. Here you go.
Even Unreal needs to get up.
Well, they need a heavy update.
They really need.
They're already like 4 years old. Well, like 4 years old past what they expected, I think, right? Because Unreal's been
it's been 2 generations of consoles.
That's right, 2 generations, yeah. But it's been working like swimmingly. It's been doing great, but it's at the point where it needs an upgrade.
Well, no, so they're on Unreal Engine 5, which came out in 22. So it's only, the new engine's only a year old.
Yeah, but that's the newest engine where it's like, oh, like people don't know what the heck's going on.
Correct. But I think I can see them with Unreal going, well, here's what we're going to give you, and charge an X flat fee or whatever it is, right? And I can see studios going, you know what? I'd rather pay a flat fee that may be a little bit higher and not have to worry about a per install. So I think that's, those guys that, over there running Fortnite and Unreal, it's like, yep, we'll do it. They've proven they'll undercut anybody, to get the revenue. So I guess, we'll see what takes place with that. It's sad news seeing that a company is dealing more, wanting to gratify shareholders, and possibly tank studios in the process. Could you imagine, like, No Man's Sky, which was made by 2 people? Look at how many copies that thing is sold.
Yeah.
And downloaded and installed. And
dude, that would put them in debt. Like, that's insane to think about.
Correct.
Like,
so
yeah,
it is going to be interesting.
Essentially, they would like deter people, like, please stop downloading our game. Like, that's
or games
that's
like
insane.
Super Meat Boy was done the same way, like by a handful of people, but Super Meat Boy just blew up like no tomorrow.
Yep.
If that happens to them, like, hey, like, what am I gonna do? Like, go into debt for making an amazing game? Holy heck, no.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Yep. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of months for those folks. But yeah, let's talk some Nintendo, because rumor has come out that they were actually at Gamescom.
Oh yeah,
showing off the Switch 2. And
Scandalous.
what has actually come out is that they were showing off the Switch 2. It was running with DLSS. It was running at 4K resolution, 60 frames per second.
Nice.
And it had minimal load times. And Nintendo wasn't showing it off for the DLSS 4K 60 frames per second. It was showing it off in a demo mode of how minimal the load times are on the console. And the game they used it on was Breath of the Wild. They actually used Breath of the Wild as a tech demo.
Wow. That's saying something.
Running, not even a remastered. It was just straight up. The demo they were showing off was 4K, 60 frames per second with minimal load time. So
that's cool.
It's in the wild. And at this point, they'd have to have it in the wild, showing off to devs, because if the target is potentially the back half of next year, that doesn't give dev teams a lot of time to get things ported or ready for Switch 2 at launch. We know Nintendo's already been working on games for the console, right? That are in-house. But these third-party developers, they'll need to, get it ported over. So it'll be rather interesting to see how that shakes out. Seeing the news that the Switch 2 was out there fuels more to the rumors that we're getting it next year.
So predictions, when are we going to hear the announcement? When are we going to get the announcement, do you think?
End of the year.
Oh, okay.
Or beginning of the fiscal year, I should say.
So January?
Maybe like Marchish.
March? Okay.
Here's my prediction. Summer Game Fest.
But I would think it probably wouldn't you think like maybe not a summer release? No, that's true.
No, I'm thinking fall. I'm thinking a fall
holiday
release somewhere. I'm thinking September-ish.
October. Like
October?
it's always like holiday. It's always holiday.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where, and then I think with Summer Game Fest, right? Jeff Keighley has pulled off some stupid shit trying to get, different announcements for his, for Summer Game Fest. And I can see Nintendo and them partnering, because normally speaking, you would have either had a private show or you would have had E3 to announce the Switch.
Yeah.
And E3 will, at a minimum, will not be there next year.
As far as
we know, and the announcements that they've said is it's not coming back until 25 if it does come back.
Yeah.
So
as far as we know.
Maybe this is the company that runs PAX and that bought them. Maybe this is the time that they're taking to like brainstorm and see what to do with E3. That's exciting if that's happening.
Okay, so no offense to those guys, right? They had 2 years to brainstorm what to make E3, and they still couldn't pull it off.
Technically, if you think about it, those 2 years, did they own it already, or were they in the process of?
So they didn't own it. So basically, what it was is E3 is owned by ESRB,
and PAX.
So PAX is its own thing.
From them.
It's PAX is run by PopCap.
So PopCap purchased them.
No, they didn't purchase it. They just run it for him. Yeah. So it's like basically, say for instance, we want to do a Comic-Con, right? San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And they hired the three of us, they hired Crashing Game Night to put on the show for them.
Yeah.
Produce it and all of that stuff. I wish, right? But no, that's what it is. So basically PopCap is just hired to run the show for them. Get all the sponsorship for it and everything like that. Same thing so they had ESRB on their own had a year-ish plus to come up with their own thing. It didn't fly too well with the likes of the other members of the board for ESRB. They brought in PopCap. PopCap thought they had something really good on paper. They were starting to put it on, and then companies started backing out. So
Oh, okay. So it was a collab. I thought someone like purchased them.
No.
From ESB.
No.
Oh, so ESP still owns it. They're still
ESRB still owns it, correct?
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. That's worse.
Okay, so let's look at real quick release dates before we talk about Starfield. All right, so
no, I really don't think it's coming back.
No. So the NES came out in 83.
Damn.
Okay, let's start dating ourselves here. The Super Nintendo came out, so that was July of 83. The Super Nintendo came out in November of 90.
Ugh, damn.
The N64 came out June of 96.
I'm old. I feel old. Stop.
The GameCube is November of 2001.
Oh wow, 2001.
The Wii was November of 2006.
Oh, the Wii.
The Wii U was November of 2012.
Boo.
So let's see here. And then the Switch was March of 2017. So outside of the Switch, the last couple of consoles have all been November. So I would say at this point is you would get the announcement at Summer Game Fest. Jeff Keighley will pull off some wizardry to get that to happen.
If anyone could pull that off, he could and get that announcement at Gamescom. He could do that. Like he could definitely swing that. That would be epic.
And then
I forgot 2017.
I would say given those dates, I would say then we're probably looking earliest November.
When was the Switch?
The Switch was March of 2017, but the preceding 3 consoles were all November.
But yeah, November. I would say November as well for the two, but for the release, I think either Matt is correct at Gamescom, or I think close to around that time, because I think that's where a lot of those announcements come out anyways, around June, July. Yeah, I think we'll hear about it around that time then.
I don't know. I think it might be their own.
And that's the other side of the coin, though. If they decide to do which is a huge possibility, where they could even like you said, Jason, they could make the announcement in March, like way earlier if they wanted to.
Get the hype going, get the hype train going, and then have all those units for October, November. I think it's going to be October, the end, because they don't want to fight the Black Friday fights.
Yeah.
Right, because everybody will expect a deal, even though no matter what, it's
they have it, they'll get it early November, and then they'll have it, and then they'll destructively rampage through.
So to Jason's point, right,
everywhere.
they had a 6-month window between the console being announced in October of 2006 and it launching in 2016 rather, and then launching in March of 2017.
Yeah.
So
I think it might be the opposite, where it's March and then release holidays. Like right before a holiday.
It'll be interesting, that's for sure. But this is Nintendo. They've done some weird shit in their
Nintendo does what Nintendo wants to do, and everybody's just going to have to accept it. Like they could do whatever they want, and people are still going to buy it up. People are still going to play full price for it. All their games to this day are still the same price. So Nintendo does whatever Nintendo wants to do. You just accept it.
New in the box, like even Nintendo 64 games are like $400, bro.
Oh no!
Even more if they're graded. Now that you can get games graded.
I'm just saying, day one Switch games are still $60.
$60.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo does whatever they want to do. If they want to raise their prices up to $70,
Zelda finally went down in price.
You still won't buy it. From day one.
Breath of the Wild. Sorry, Breath of the Wild.
To the end of time, those prices aren't going down.
No,
not at all. Even used, they're just saying the same.
Yeah, even used.
staying the same price.
The moment they become used, like after a few years, they're a collector's item.
No, after when the new system comes out.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go.
Ones become
now
either collector items.
Those are collector items.
They either become collector items or they become worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but that's the funny thing. That's just the console. The accessories for the console, those could be collector's items in itself.
And like I said,
yeah,
anything
Nintendo. You're right. Yeah,
Nintendo either becomes a collector's item or it is buried to the ground. Just chuck it.
Like that Link game where it's on rails and you're using the gun for the little shooter. The archery challenge.
A lot of
basically.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Those things were a dime a dozen.
That one was terrible.
What was it? The Wii balance boards. Those became a dime a dozen.
Dude, those. Oh my god, I had so much fun with my relatives when they tried that. Like I would I would sit right next to them and they're like trying it out, but then I would put my foot on the corner and they don't understand. Like, why is it? I don't get it, dude. It was
the skate
so
controller. The skate controller.
Oh man, skate. Or the Tony Hawk. What was it? The fifth game, I think.
Yep, the Tony
did
Hawk
the same
controller.
thing. It came with the skateboard controller.
I mean, and then you look at the Super Scope for the Super NES and the Power Glove.
God, like PS3
yes, it was immortalized.
Yeah, the PS3 era like really heavily invested in Bluetooth and like some of their stuff did not hit.
And a lot of it was hold on.
It's a bold move.
A lot of it was
bold move.
A lot of it was knockoffs of Nintendo ideas, anyways. So,
they came up with the Move first, didn't they?
No. The Wii U came out.
The Wii U was first.
It had its big blow up, and PlayStation's like, we got to do that. And then there was Xbox going.
No, you don't. Bad move, Cotton.
Connect.
Bad move, Cotton. Sony. Bad move, Cotton.
Yeah.
PlayStation Move. Ugh. Yeah. I'm like, most gamers saw it and was like,
PlayStation Eye, man.
Like, okay, like, kind of get it, but no. The moment everyone tried it, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm okay. Damn, PlayStation Move.
So let's talk Xbox.
Oh yeah. Really you've been playing some Starfield, bro.
We have someone with Xbox Access now.
Yeah.
And I actually got in my Xbox Gamescom 2023 Forza Motorsport exclusive shirt.
Oh, you got the shirt
over the week? Yeah. So it's super comfy too.
Nice.
I love it because it's got Forza Motorsport all the way on the back of it and whatnot.
So you got to dive way deeper into Starfield?
I'm 5 hours into it now.
But you got to dive more into the customization, the character stuff, and all that. And
I've customized my character. I haven't messed around with the ship yet. I'm not that far into it where I can really start.
Make sure to make your ship a square with no middle, and you will never get hit.
Yeah,
you will never get it.
So yeah,
that's one secret tip for you.
There's a lot of tips actually. But no. So overall, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and
cool.
My my missing of Halo and Forza has helped contribute to some of with what I'm planning on doing, but because of Starfield and having to wait in 15 to 20 minute long queues to play XCloud this time of night, I am going to be getting a Series X because I want to play these games without having to worry about loading in on XCloud. XCloud is great, especially if I'm going to be traveling or whatever. I can just load it up on my laptop. But
so given that you've gotten to really test out that aspect of Game Pass wirelessly through your computer, like it depends on the game that you're using.
Sometimes there's a queue, which everyone is wanting to play Starfield. But when we look at Starfield specifically on XCloud, right? Because I haven't done it on the console. My experience with it is just on XCloud. It's had a little bit of lag here and there, which is to be expected. I mean, you're streaming it from
and that's a huge running game.
Yeah, correct. On an install for the console, it's 125 gig. So when you think about it,
so that makes
running it off of a server somewhere, right? That is a third of a speaker box, white speaker box. Because that's only got like 360 available. So yeah, you're taking up a third of your Xbox Series S, the white unit, to install that game. But overall, though, the gun mechanics, I would equate a little bit of the gun mechanics to Fallout. You know,
well, I
as
mean,
far
it's the same
as
engine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the guns are better. Like the guns are like more grounded in reality than Fallout was. Because we know there was some really ridiculous guns.
When you say Fallout, I like, because the controls for me weren't like that great for me. I wasn't big of a Fallout fan. But does it seem more fluid, like more seamless when you're like aiming and like shooting?
Oh yeah. So when I'm aiming and shooting, the mechanics they're better in terms of like how the guns actually really react from a physics perspective. And when you're scoped in, right, the bigger the scope you have, just naturally, right, you're going to see a little bit of a sway. So you got to like hold your breath if you're zooming in, sniping type of a thing. You know, it rewards you for hitting critical spots. Like your guns will, like, if you hit like a headshot, it's going to crit, and it, depending on your gun, is going to drop them.
Big numbers.
Big numbers, right?
Chicken mice for
the AI is a lot better than like Fallout, because you know, you could decide you're going to go try and run into a space, or you're going to go toe to toe with some ships in space, and they will flank you. They will will move around.
It's straight up like you're also straight up dogfighting too.
Yeah, and think about this, right? With Division 2, Jerry, you and I have played that, and remember the AI with that, where they would try and pin you down while somebody else is moving.
Later on, they were getting better too.
Yes, and that's what I'm experiencing with Starfield.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And dogfighting.
So that creates intensity. That's that's fun. That's cool.
The dogfighting is not bad once you get used to it. It's straight up, you know, your lasers to drop shields and your ballistic weapons to rip a hole through the enemy ship.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
But if you're engaged, like I did, if you join the Vanguard, right, you can do the pilot simulation, and you can do waves. And in one of the waves, it was one primary ship with 3 escorts. And my stupidness decided, hey, I'm going to go take on the primary ship first and not worry about the escorts, which I should have just gone to the escorts first and nuked them, right?
Yeah.
The escorts, literally, while I was paying attention to the main one, it pretty much think of Top Gun when Maverick is going after Viper. And here comes Jester in behind him. Just all of a sudden, it's like, well, the Defense Department regrets to inform you that your sons are dead because they were stupid. And they came in and dropped in right behind me and lit me up. Like I had no chance. So it punishes you for being stupid.
Okay.
The story thus far, I did my first real long mission. And you experienced space battles. You experienced going into a derelict space station and whatnot. It was satisfying. It was a nice little fun little mission. So I'm still kind of deciding the weapons I want to go with. I'm kind of settling into a setup that I kind of want to run between a pistol and an assault rifle until I get my sniper. And then, you know me, I'm going to just sit back and snipe.
Yeah.
But I will say this, like, much like Tears of the Kingdom was for TikTok, this Starfield has spawned a lot of TikTok videos.
I would say it's possibly bumped Tears of the Kingdom to number 2 on the most popular in TikTok so far.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I would say it's close. I see Zelda every day still, but I'm starting to see a lot of Starfield pop up. So that's why I'm saying I think it's close, or it's getting there.
I don't think it's
not there. So but it's getting close.
We talked about it last week, right? Where there's so many different ships that people are building between the Pelican from Halo.
I love it. This is the same stuff that have come from Tears. This is great. These people are amazing.
Somebody built a hot dog. Like an Oscar Mayer Wiener.
The Wienermobile?
Yes. And we were talking about kind of some of the things they've put into it, like little Easter eggs. somebody put out there that they actually put the magic school bus into the game.
Oh, sick. That's funny.
It is basically the teacher. She's out on, take your kids out on a field trip and she needs help. There's been some insane like ship designs. To your point, right? Somebody figure out that, which I guarantee you Bethesda is working on patching, right? Is that enemy ships, they will target center mass.
Yeah, the AI is programmed to shoot directly in the middle of the ships, like center mass. So someone figured that out.
Built think of it as a square, but just the frame, nothing in the middle.
Yeah, they essentially created like a space station shaped as a square with no middle or oval. Yeah, and dude, the footage is hilarious. He was unstoppable. He was God mode from day one.
Yep.
Every ship was like, and dude, the sound bites of people like, what the F? Like, this isn't possible. Like, dude, it's so funny.
Somebody built a ship that goes beyond the height limitations. I don't know if that was just a bug when it got built, but your ship only has like certain parameters that you can go on. Yeah, somebody built a ship that was like 25 decks high. Oh. And you just had to keep climbing this ladder all the way up into the top.
You know what? That'd be sick if someone created Nowhere from Guardians. That'd be sick.
Oh my God. I mean, somebody did the Milano. So
yeah, dude, someone did Serenity from Firefly. Yep. Oh, that was so cool.
So now talk about bugs, right? We were talking about this earlier, is that so I saw a video of somebody that was trying to steal a ship.
Yep.
And they weren't paying attention. They jumped into the hold where you would actually climb up into the actual ship, and it took off with him in the hold and he couldn't get up through the actual door into the ship, into the hatch. So they were stuck in the hold of the ship while it took off. But yeah,
what are you gonna do, bro?
There's tons.
Oh my God.
Like,
I can't even imagine like what the player's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Like
if you steal a ship and then you warp out like instantly to another planet or something like that,
you steal the ship like you own it.
Correct.
But if you do it too quickly, your original ship that you had before is gone because you stole the ship and you didn't set it like
to go back home or something like that, or
like it's your home base.
Oh,
it's not set as
so you can even essentially lose your own ship trying to steal a ship.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's funny. Oh wow,
which is
got some bugs to fix.
That itself is hilarious. Like,
I don't think that's a bug. I think that's on purpose.
I don't know, man. I think
that's pretty funny.
So, but I will say this: like, we know how much I have a love-hate relationship with Bethesda. More on the hate side because of the bugs, right? I mean, I've always
the Skyrim incident. It
was Oblivion, and it was
Oblivion,
Fallout 3. But outside of that, I've always loved playing their games. Like Daggerfall, which was Elder Scrolls 2 or 3, was one of my favorite games growing up. I constantly played that game. So like, I've been playing Bethesda games for a long time, and this one I was generally excited for, but I had tempered expectations because of how their past games really are. Yeah, and even with the bugs that we're seeing out there in the world, I want to keep going back. Like, I still want to go explore. Like, I get it. It's open world. You can go to planets, explore them, and some of them are very barren. But I like the fact that I can go build my ship if I need to, or modify it, or whatever I want to do with it, or I don't have to. I can just buy ships, leave them as is, and keep going to do my missions. And I think it's resonating.
Someone else's,
right? Yeah. Which I'm going to try. You know me. I'm going to try this. But whereas like Tears of the Kingdom, I think it didn't connect with me in the way that it probably, the way that it has everybody else, right? Is because some of the mechanics were forced on you.
Also some of them are recycled from
the other games.
Some of them are recycled from Breath of the Wild. But with Starfield, I just like the fact is that it's not forced, right? You're not required to constantly go up, redesign your ship all the time, build new ones, So, I mean, there is the mechanics from Fallout, right? From Fallout 4 that are in it, from a shooting mechanics and stuff like that. But from an overall perspective, yeah, with a Bethesda game, much like when you watch Star Wars, right? George Lucas doesn't really write great dialogue. So yes, there's some spots in Starfield, just like Bethesda games, where it's not great dialogue. But overall, I'm enjoying the set design, if you want to call it that, right? When you're in spaceships and stuff, and having to worry about those things. I'm enjoying it, and it makes me want to go back for more. Like, I was going to try and play a little bit before we recorded tonight, and it was a 15-minute wait to get into XCloud to play Starfield. So that's why I'm like, I really just want to get a console. Get a Series
No, I get that, especially with a game like that.
That's how to get you.
Yeah.
That's how to get you.
It's but also like, especially for Game Pass, like you could, it's really meant for you to play like those single player alone games.
Well, even then, Jason, right, is for me, I looked at it from a mathematical perspective, right? Is my Ultimate Game Pass runs out in November.
Okay.
I was planning from doing XCloud and enjoying it. I was planning on continuing it, which is $17 a month. So I can pay $17 a month to do it on XCloud, or I can pay $25 a month to get the Series S and 2 years of Game Pass for $25, right? I'm only spending $8 more and I'm getting a console. Or B, for $37, because of taxes and stuff, I can get a Series X in 2 years. So for an extra $20 more a month than what I was already going to be paying anyways, I can just have the console. So for me, I'm looking at it from a mathematical perspective.
Yeah. And and again,
$20.
Just from last week, we're talking about all this, and you're getting that service for the extra however much you wanted to pay. It's up to you how much you want to pay on that. But I think you're the only person I know personally that has Starfield, and I'm not gonna. I'm sorry, Matt, but I don't think we're gonna play with each other on Starfield, sir. Like,
I don't even think, does it have multiplayer?
I mean,
I haven't seen it have multiplayer.
I'm not doubting it. Like right now, it might not, but I'm not gonna doubt.
I also think you can group up, or eventually group up in the game. I think
it'll be just like it'll just be like Ghost of Tsushima, where they had the Legends mode.
Yeah,
I could see eventually them adding something
eventually.
like that.
Like right now, they're trying to do their thing. They're trying to
let the people explore. Let them
they're trying to fix all the
create.
bugs.
Let them make all the crazy crap that they can.
You boo first. And then
let's see what happens when people really dive into the game.
Yeah,
and see from there.
It's going to go multiplayer. I know it's going to go multiplayer.
Yeah. It will.
There's no doubt.
I mean, eventually they'll do an add-on. I mean,
of course.
And then at that point, you're doing Sea of Thieves in space.
Pretty much. Man, I want to try Sea of Thieves too.
Gifts that keeps on giving.
Right. So yeah, let's see here. Remember anything I'm seeing? I think it's single player. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there will be a
real quick,
soon.
Just a public service announcement before we also talk about last little bit what we've been playing, is that the folks behind Cyberpunk have put out a warning that says to check your PC and make sure it can cool itself adequately, because it is going to push the system resources of your PC when they launch the new update.
Oh, okay.
CD Projekt Red has basically said that you need to make sure that your system can cool itself, or it's going to melt it.
Oh my God! Why? Like what? Why would you create it where it draws out all those resources? Why?
I'm good. I have a console, so I'll play on that.
I mean, just why though, man? Like,
I know.
Whatever.
So many of these studios and companies have been making some questionable decisions,
but I get you, but
really,
down.
I was like, exactly, like slow it down. Like
it is going to. Okay, let's just put it this way. I just pulled up one of the articles. This is WCCF Tech, right? But they came out and said that expect there to be a 90% 8-core CPU workload.
Oh my God. I mean, like, to put in perspective, like literally you would just be doing that and that's it. Like, you can't be streaming it. You can't be doing like a side download to like do whatever. You can't be opening up another tab at this point. Like, you're using 95%. That's just pretty much just might as well use a full 100 and just blow up your PC.
Wow.
Jesus, come on.
They literally said that players could experience thermal throttling if the cooling is in the setup is insufficient.
All because they wanted to release the game early with a lot of bugs. They just want to, you know.
No, this is the latest.
No, this is the update, bro.
Everything.
No, I know.
Like,
I was just saying.
This
like,
is
you know, like,
no, I'm guessing is this for the 2.0 update, like the new DLC and all that?
Yeah, probably.
Yes, it is update 2.0.
Yeah,
for
that's
Phantom
what I thought. Yeah.
2.0. You know, that's the second time that they're gonna just bug you out like crazy. That's why they need the 90%. They need that 90%.
Another soundbite we need.
So your whole computer will just blow up.
J-Bo, how many times is that? Boom, second time, got that.
Hold on. Here's their minimum, real quick. Here's their minimum system requirements.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice.
It is going to require.
Shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. It's going to require a minimum of an Intel Core i7 6700 or Ryzen 5 1600 CPU. And a GeForce. Hold on, and a GeForce GTX 1060 or Radeon RX 580 8 gig.
So it's requiring some major
380 GPU. And you're going to need 12 gig of RAM just to run the game at 1080.
So pretty much, if you didn't buy a computer within the last 2 years, you can't play.
They have to be able to compress it somehow. That's insane.
Listen to this.
That's insane.
If you want to experience ray tracing in the game, you need to have an Intel Core i9 12900 or a Ryzen 9 7900X CPU, an RTX 3080 Ti or Radeon RX 7900.
The 3080 Ti, or one of those, isn't that like $600 to $700? And one of those, or like most, like that's insane for a game. I'm going to spend another $600 for a component to allow me to get 4K. That's insane.
And you need 20 gig of RAM for optimal ray tracing. Now, if you want anything, if you want more impressive ray tracing, the overdrive mode, you need 20 gig of RAM and running an RTX 4080 or higher. I will stick with console. Thanks. And PC Master Race makes fun of us for wanting the newest console. It's $500.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no joke.
I mean, like this,
holy crap.
This better be so immersive and so massive, like that I will literally just see it and die. Like, that's how good this game graphically needs to be. Like, what are you needing 4080 for to just play the game? What the heck, man?
Yep. So, anyways, Jason, what you been playing?
Bro, apparently not Cyberpunk. Jesus. I mean, like, I was 2.0, man. Like, I get it. There's going to be no bugs because you can't afford it. You can't afford to play the game. So you don't even know there's going to be bugs.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God. What have I been playing? Here and there, Death's Door. It's pretty fun. I like it. Very, very, very childish in a way. You know, very simple. It's very, very refreshing. Sticking to a few mobile games, you know, my mahjong on my lunch breaks. Skullgirls Mobile, still playing that a little bit. Other than that, you know, like I said, I traded a few games in earlier so I can get ready for Spider-Man 2. And I'm gonna try and knock out a game or two before that. I don't know yet. Like, playing Death's Door, I do need to check out my backlog for a little bit to see what I want to kill in between before Spider-Man 2.
Yep. Okay. Nice. Okay.
Yep. Jerry?
Same. Cyberpunk. I've been knocking Cyberpunk a little bit out.
Hopefully you can run it, bro.
I've been fine. It's been running fine. It looks great.
Can you imagine
having a lot of fun?
Can you imagine what's going to potentially do to a PS5?
Yeah. Like,
I don't.
that's what it
See,
means
that's
for a
my
PC.
question too. Like, I don't get it. Like, that's crazy. Anyways, that and here and there, Sekiro. I'm just getting a feel for it for the level. You know, doing my research before I like go into it again.
I don't want to be there when you play, man. Like, I kind of want to be there a little bit. Like, maybe on a Tuesday if you have a Tuesday
Yeah. I'll
off.
let you know, and maybe I'll share play and.
Nah, just roll on over there.
Oh,
like,
roll on over. Okay, dude, I can use your advice. I can use a sensei. Hey, bro, I can use the help.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because
just make sure you
fuck that game.
make sure you bring him Nicks or Big E's, and he'll be happy.
Yeah. Just I need a counter from that game because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna piss me off. Yep. Matt, what about you?
Well, Starfield. When I came, a little bit of Forza still. Playing a little bit of Horizon. However, Horizon will go away once Forza Motorsports drops next month.
Horizon.
This is the only one that's available on XCloud right now.
Oh,
it's all right. I still rock my my WRX,
nice
and whatnot. And then I'm debating between starting Halo 2 or starting Halo Reach.
How about Hellblade? Sir?
I tried that, Jason, and I am not in the right mindscape for that game right now.
Okay, fair enough.
I started it, and it just right now where mentally where I'm at right now.
Yep,
it's not a good game for me to be playing.
Fair enough.
I would say go Halo 2, then go Reach.
Reach is technically the first in the series, though. Technically, chronologically. So
yeah, but game wise, it's like way more innovative than 2. So like if you were to go to Reach,
I know,
and then go to 2. No, I know. I'm just saying I would go 2 because like the biggest hype was you can dual wield, and then Reach, like they gave way more features to it where
you got to customize your Spartan as you played through the game and whatnot. So we'll see what I end up playing on that. And then of course there is my crack.
Oh, of course. Has the island gone through any changes or?
I'm doing some updates.
Oh my god, I knew it.
It's coming into holiday season.
You weren't going to be satisfied, bro.
We understand it.
I'm about ready.
Halloween, Thanksgiving, and holidays. No, you're going to go crazy.
I added 2 new things to my museum area. I now got enough of the shooting stars to build the astronaut suit and the asteroid.
Oh, cool.
So I have more out there in my space section and whatnot. Yes, I'm a nerd. We all know that. I mean, come on. He sits at my desk.
We all are.
That's funny.
So anyways, but no, that's pretty much it. Starfield, when I can play, I play in the morning. Usually I'll play for about a half hour. So I go to a little bit and then drop out. And then my island. So yeah. It's been all right. So anyways, with that, I want to thank everybody for crashing with us tonight that hopped in. Check this out. We appreciate you giving us a chance and checking things out. If you like what you heard, please go on over to crashinggamenight.com. Find us on the platform you want to follow us on and drop us a follow. I will, once I get a Series X, I'll start doing a little bit more in-game recording for Starfield and stuff like that, and start getting that posted to the web over to YouTube and whatnot. So with that, I want to say everyone, just please be excellent to each other.
That's right, all my nerds. Thank you all for hanging with us and listening and jiving and talking. Once again, we want to spread the same word. We want to try and be better, do better. Let's try and exercise a little bit more patience and compassion. Let's try and help out where we can and show support. Nice segue to for support is to show all of the actors and writers and everyone that are involved in the strikes. Please show your support however way possible, because it is a very tough spot that they're all in, and these people need to make really do need to make a living. And I'm talking about the actors
just pay them.
Yeah. So please show your support however you can. And once again, let's just try and be better and do better and stay who you are and be who you are. Be a nerd. That's exactly who we are, and we love you for it. J Bone.
Yep.
J Bone. To you, bro.
Yeah, again, off of Jerry, be nice to each other, lend some help. And of course, right now, after the earthquake in Morocco, please be safe out there. Every week we always come out with these be safe, but we always mean it. From all of us, we always mean it because we're only one planet. We're all gamers, to a certain degree, we're all gamers. So spread the love, spread the joy, spread the safety, spread all that happiness, because we love games, we love people too. But since my man who's been missing, Theo, I love him.
Yep.
I can't give it off to Jerry because Jerry always flips it.
You guys always think I flip it. There's too much pressure.
Okay, well,
chicken waits for no one.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Chicken waits for no one.
I'm gonna softball this one right to you right now, Jerry. You ready? All
right.
All right. Here we go. Here you go. My man.
All right.
I miss you, bro. But tonight, Jerry's gonna send this off like you do. Anyways, Jerry.
For Theo, TTFN, thank you for watching. Ta-ta for now.
Almost, man. Almost.
I thought that was it. What was I missing?
No.
I paused to.
No. It's ruined that. Thank you for watching. That's supposed to go first, sir.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Okay. That's why it's Theo's exit.
God.
He perfected it.